What is up, guys? It's your boy, Big Iron on my hip, Cacus, and today we're going to be discussing an awesome hunter build that was recently taken to the next level thanks to the introduction of the Warden's Law legendary Nightfall hand cannon just introduced this season within Season of the Witch. Now, originally I intended to make this video earlier around the time the Warden's Law started dropping, but if you guys remember, that was the same week that Destiny 2 literally was turned on its head thanks to the weapon crafting glitch. So as you can imagine, this video was put on the back burner, but I still want to make it because dang, this is a really cool and really powerful thing you can do. So what we're talking about here is the fact that the Warden's Law has extremely unique hand cannon properties. It is the first and only heavy burst hand cannon in the game, meaning that every time you press the trigger, it fires a fast 2-round burst, and so the volume of fire from the Warden's Law is more than really any other hand cannon in the game. And this is extremely important when you're using the Hunter exotic leg armor, the Lucky Pants. So, what this exotic says is the following. When you ready a fully loaded hand cannon that deals kinetic damage or a damage type that matches your subclass energy type, each hit from that hand cannon increases the damage of the next shot for a short time against a combatant. Hand cannons ready faster and are more accurate immediately after swapping to them, and you get bonus airborne effectiveness with them. So what that means in layman's terms is that you swap to your hand cannon from another weapon. If it's fully loaded, you're going to start unloading on a target, and the bullets are going to do more and more and more damage in a short window. And as you saw at the very beginning of the video, you can stack a massive amount of damage with your hand cannon in order to absolutely melt even raid bosses with this setup. Now, the Lucky Pants have been around for a while, and it's been known that they're very, very effective at increasing hand cannon damage. I think I did a video way back in the day when they were first kind of buffed, and I was taking down Vault of Glass raid bosses with Lucky Pants and stuff like that. But guys, out of all of the different hand cannons in the game you can pair with the Lucky Pants, it seems like the Warden's Law might be the best legendary hand cannon, certainly, and possibly the best overall. And again, that's because of the insane amount of bullets you can simply get off thanks to its heavy burst archetype, and the fact that it has a disgusting god roll that pairs perfectly with the Lucky Pants for PvE. And that's going to be the combination of a magazine size increasing perk. So I do have appended mag here, and I'm pairing that with 4th times the charm to refund the ammo in my magazine and extend it even further, combined with Vorpal Weapon. And remember, Vorpal Weapon does different damages based on if it's a primary, special, or heavy. And on a primary, it gives you 20% bonus damage against bosses. So you have an exotic leg armor that massively boosts your hand cannon damage to raid boss levels. And now, just introduced this season, you have a hand cannon that fires an insane amount of rounds, has an incredibly large magazine size. 20 rounds at a base level with a hand cannon is absurd, and then you're refunding those rounds with 4th times to extend it out to 30 plus rounds before you need to reload, and you have Vorpal Weapon dealing even more damage. Not to mention, it's also capable of getting the ADEPT version, which means if you're dealing with champions, and you will absolutely see that in the background gameplay, oh, you heal yourself thanks to stunning recovery, and then you can put on ADEPT Big One spec to gain a little bit of bonus damage against every yellow bar you see, or slap on an ADEPT mag mod to get 28 rounds in the magazine. What does this actually look like in terms of damage? Well, I went over to Cali in The Last Wish, and aside from just throwing a weakening smoke bomb, I'm not in a well anything like that, and as you can see right here, the amount of damage you can actually get off with one single magazine, and this wasn't like a perfect damage test either. I think I missed a couple of headshots, but regardless, I'm doing over 300,000 damage for just one magazine of my primary weapon. That's crazy. And having your primary legendary weapon capable of doing this much damage has a lot of practical applications within endgame PvE. The best example is solo lost sectors. You can see right here I'm doing a lost sector with overload champions and barrier champions, so I have overload hand cannon obviously, and then I'm just using an auto rifle to deal with the barriers. Normally, running double primary would mean that this is going to take forever, and especially it puts a lot of pressure on my heavy weapon. If I run out of ammo for my heavy, those champions are going to take forever to kill. Well, it normally would, but as you can see right here, you absolutely dump truck champions with this combo. You're doing so much damage, you don't even need a heavy at this point, and it's not just champions. Let's see how it does against the final boss of this lost sector. Now this guy can be pretty tough. Oh, he's already dead. Well, yeah, so definitely some applications when you're doing this much damage. So guys, if you have a Warden's Law and you don't even need the God Roll I showed, that would just be preferable, and the Lucky Pants, you gotta try out this combo. But what about the rest of your build? Let's talk about how you can augment your build to massively improve the performance of this combo. So, first of all, in terms of other weapons, we have one hand cannon, yes. But what about second hand cannon? Well, you could actually be using the Ariana's Vow as your exotic weapon. This would go in your energy slot and it would work with the Lucky Pants. The problem is that there's a lockout time after you've done a ton of bonus damage with the Lucky Pants, so it's not like you could switch to the Ariana's Vow and continue doing massive damage or have another ramp up. It would still be on that lockout timer, so I think just having the one hand cannon is good enough. In fact, I'm using the TRUTHTELLER, just a blinding grenade auto-loading holster grenade launcher that's going to help me set up my hand cannon. Blind a powerful enemy, whip out the hand cannon, get things set up, and then absolutely delete them. Very, very good weapon. And for the heavy, heck, the two-tailed fox, I have a free exotic slot. This thing's cracked, why not? That's the beauty of this build, guys. You can really use whatever special or heavy you want depending on the situation. You are really not tied into anything other than a hand cannon, in this case, the Warden's Law. Now, the same thing works for your subclass, right? Normally, you would have to match the subclass element of your hand cannon with the Lucky Pants, but with this case, because we're using a kinetic, we don't need to do that. I'm just using a Night Stalker built into invisibility just to, again, help my survivability and help set up this combo. After that, guys, some mods you absolutely want to be using. First of all, for the helmet, make sure you have a kinetic siphon. As you can imagine, you are slaying out with your Warden's Law, so producing orbs at the same time is great. After that, double kinetic loader is a good idea as well, simply because we need a fully loaded hand cannon in order to start triggering this damage increase from the Lucky Pants. After that, guys, you absolutely want some kinetic weapon surges, just going to elevate your damage even further, and also the kinetic holster mod is a good idea as well. Like I said, you need to have a full magazine in order to start this damage ramp up, so being able to have your other weapons out, you're doing some, rocket launcher shenanigans, and then when you switch back to your hand cannon, kinetic holster would have reloaded it for you. That's very, very useful. And then we're going to end things off, guys, here with just like time dilation for those surges. Reaper's not a bad idea. Just, again, whatever you want. We're just providing a framework because, again, the beauty is that you just need Warden's Law plus Lucky Pants, and then everything else can be built around it and change depending on the activity you're doing to support that combo. And so guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.